But the exchange rate in Brazil.
شكله يسري مش حديث. طيب ان شاء الله عاش ان شاء الله طول عمرك مسك الله بخير. وحمد العطيه جاي بعد طريقه. السلام عليكم. الحين هابي نيو يير برا. وجودك الله يسلمك. بالعكس احنا سعداء. كيف الحال؟ الله يسلمك. يا هلا. شوي على انت شويه مو شفاف. هذا شغلنا ما نشوف شفافيه. سوريا. How are you? Nice to see you. Congratulations. Looking fantastic. Oh, right. So how are you? Very good. Alhamdulillah. Exactly. Energy trading company. والله الحمد لله قاعد نحسنه هنا. ان شاء الله نشوف غير نشوف ابو ظبي ان شاء الله نكمل نسبورت.
I'm really enjoying it. It was beginning to get to me because it's just too embarrassing.
الشيخ عياد يعني من الناس القلائل في الخليج كلها.
On behalf of us all gathered here, I'd like to congratulate His Excellency on his recent promotion to the rank of Prime Minister in Qatar in his new role as President of the Administrative Control and Transparency. But only about 15% of this is actually recoverable using existing technologies. And that's going to be very much the principal theme of our discussion this morning along. My pleasure to welcome and invite His Excellency Mohammed bin Lahin Al-Hamdi, the UAE Minister of Energy, to the podium to present his opening speech to the forum. Your Excellency, thank you.
Being very nice with us, getting us in this beautiful setting and make us more relaxed. It's my pleasure, ladies and gentlemen, to welcome you all to Abu Dhabi and to this important event. I would like, increasingly, the United Arab Emirates nationals are playing ever more important technical and managerial roles in our oil industry, thanks to the good university education they received, as well as on the job training they are given in ADNOC and other operating companies. While it is clear that the age, we have just heard, while it's clear that the age of easy oil is coming to an end, it's equally clear, thanks to the application of new technology, that the oil and gas industry has a very long life ahead of it. Make up 82% of the global total by 2035. Hydrocarbons will remain the energy source of choice with the largest share of many years to come. However, by the year 2035, oil will have been overtaken by coal, which will represent 29% of total energy. As it is today, while oil share falls from 34% to 28%. Even though its share of world total energy consumption might fall, no less than 110 million barrels of oil per day would be needed by the year 2035. Gas use is expected to rise at a faster rather than either coal or oil, with its overall share of total energy rising from 23 to 25%. Ladies and gentlemen, for traditional hydrocarbon producers, the ongoing challenge will be the need to invest heavily in capital-intensive projects such as enhanced oil recovery, which will be increasingly required to maintain production over the long term. Improve technology, successful reserve in the ground. The petroleum industry needs to allocate adequate resources to surmount this hurdle. However, these investments will oil price during this decade will average $85 to $95 a barrel. Of international oil markets. However, if oil prices do trade within this range over the next decade.
Used to hop on a plane with him for trips. I think at one point, Your Excellency, we ended up in Angola, and there's not enough time to regale you with tales of that trip. But when there was no OPEC meeting that was complete without Stavros journalists going to see him at his suite in the Hilton in Vienna. He's well informed about any subject. He knows no more about the Armenians than I do, and I'm Armenian. But it also shows that he is a people's person. He actually is genuinely interested in people. And that is why we're here today. Because I remember once you held up signing, I think, your first GPL deal with Sasol, because you were busy chatting to us in a hotel lobby. And I want to thank you on behalf of all of us journalists who have covered OPEC, who have come to Qatar, and who have accepted your hospitality, and who have just made their way to come to
in this beautiful gathering. Okay, thank you very much for the introduction to me. Yes, I know you for a long time, but I will not tell you how many years ago. And yes, I enjoyed all my life. It's a long journey. Long journey in the energy world. It's always, very close to me. Somebody asked me when I moved, also even impossible, close to it. I will be always in touch with my work to lead the growth in energy consumption. Their rapid economic development is expected to outweigh energy efficiency gains, resulting in an overall.
Al-Attiyah Al-Sayegh 3 years ago here on campus, and with Dr. Kamali, we thank you for continuing to host us. I'm going to start by asking you, Your Excellency, the CEO of one of the world's biggest energy companies has forecast that by 2020 we are going to reach not an issue of peak supply. Everybody generally agrees there's lots of oil and gas in the ground. As Diala pointed out at the top of her introduction, 3 trillion barrels of heavy oil, but only 15% of it accessible with current technology. But the CEO of one of the world's top energy companies has said he expects a peak oil production, not a peak oil supply issue, but actually peak oil production. The challenge, and he put that at 95 million barrels a day. And the
technology sometimes, can give you a solution for a lot of difficult, answers. I mean, if you take, for example, we planned, to build our terminal in Texas, the Golden Pass, and we invest. So we and our partners, we built a very nice terminal in Golden Pass in Texas. I've been there several times. I visited our terminal. It's a very beautiful terminal. It's one of the largest terminals in the USA. But because the tide, they believe that the United States is declining in the natural gas, and they need to import more natural gas. The tide, because that one of the biggest CO oil companies saying this and this. The time we and ExxonMobil and ConocoPhillips were at that time, who's been consumed? 80?
if we agreed at 18, it means 5 million barrels a day was demolished from U.S. consumptions. But it was substituting to China and India. And even Europe today, God knows what will happen with Europe tomorrow. No one even
to work very strategically with the academic institutions here, not simply to develop a course, but to develop an avenue and a path for young talent to actually develop itself. I mean, His Excellency's point about, you can develop within a closed environment of a degree, and then you can spin out from that closed environment of a degree and work within a closed environment of a particular oil field, if you like, in its most limited sense. What emerges at the end of that is extremely limited experience. And when you get into the world of enhanced reservoir production, or indeed dealing particularly with complex or depleted reservoirs, much of the knowledge that needs to be learned is elsewhere. It's fairly obvious to anybody listening to me. I'm Scottish, and I'm delighted to come in here a week after I understand that in Abu Dhabi, the First Nation has come into a joint venture with Abu Dhabi around the renewable energy technologies thing. So apart from the fact that you should be worried about being overrun shortly by Scotsmen, I'll represent my nation as best I can. When we came into the industry in the early 70s with the development of the North Sea, young engineers out of Britain were considered inferior to the talent that was being developed in North America, for instance. Today, European engineers from Britain, from Norway, from Denmark, are all over the world. They're represented on the board behind you. And I imagine in the future that if we are to have a sustainability in the
and I'm slightly hesitant now to confess that I'm actually from a consultancy, RPS Energy, but I don't play golf either. I wanted to just flip around the conversation and take it from sort of top down, how do you address the talent attrition issue, to if you were a youngster now coming up through the oil and gas ranks, what would your advice be from the bottom up?
Get money contracts and then go to the I've got money options.
Yeah, I mean, we're concentrating top-notch students, either female or male. We give them instruction.
For your wise words. I have a comment or sort of learning I got from your perspectives, is that the one thing that we can predict is that in fact technology always delivers more than we expect.
Yeah.
So if you put that in perspective and you look at the expense of the oil industry in general compared to all other industries like IT, pharmaceutical, what strikes you in fact that as a percentage of revenue the R&D effort is rather small compared to the total turnover. What can we learn from that? Is the industry in general too careful, too conservative, too afraid almost to take risks on technology? Would you see learning in that?
You've been very
but we'll be ready to explore that volume, yes, 1.5.
And are there any other measures that the UAE is taking? I mean, in the case of closing the Straits of Hormuz, are there any other measures that the UAE is taking to actually bypass it? To protect the export of that oil? And you guys are in a good position compared to some of the other
Who said this Hormuz is going to close?
Well, there are threats now, Your Excellency.
Thank you.